What's going on, guys? It's Aleem from Ambitious Labs, and in this video, I'm gonna teach you how to go from a launched app to getting your first paying customer using TikTok ads. You do not need to have a big budget. I did this in less than $100. You do need to have an app launched on the store, and if you don't, no worries, you're still gonna get a ton of value from this video. And if you do need help launching your app, check the link in the comments. I run the biggest Flutter app accelerator on the internet. I've taught over 500 entrepreneurs how to go from idea to fully launched revenue generating app on the App Store, like Yago, who recently launched his gut tracking app and got his first paying customers within 3 days of launching with Ambitious Labs. But in this video, I'm gonna show you how I took my newest app, Closer Academy, and got its first paying customer within 3 days of launching using TikTok ads. I literally just got my first paying customer from TikTok ads this morning, and I'm making this video in real time. I'm not one of these gurus who gets a fully built out app. Maybe they're part of an agency and they claim that it's theirs, and then they teach you how to build an app that scales to millions of dollars. I'm teaching you in real time from my real experience how I use TikTok ads, and I've done all of this before. If you don't know who I am, welcome to the channel. My name's Aleem. I'm the founder of Ambitious Labs. I was previously the former head mobile engineer at PrizePicks, which is the #1 daily fantasy sports app in the United States. I was the head mobile engineer. I built the entire app from scratch back in 2020 post-COVID, and then I helped the company grow to over 2 million users, which when I then exited my position to go all in on the future of no-code and AI education to teach founders just like you how they can launch their own profitable apps, because you don't need millions of dollars. You don't need technical developers. You don't need a co-founder. You can do it all yourself. So without further ado, let's jump in. This video will be broken up into 4 key parts. Number 1, how to prepare your app for launch the right way. Number 2, how to create a high converting ad without having to go on camera. Number 3, how to launch your TikTok ad campaign successfully. And number 4, how to get your first paying customer. Everything I'm about to teach you is based on what I've actually done in the last 72 hours. So let's go. How to prepare your app for ad traffic the right way. This is a key mistake that many founders make when it's too late and they're wondering, why aren't my ads converting? When you use ads to drive traffic to a mobile app, you need to know which ad your downloads are coming from. You might launch 1, 2, 3 ads. All of them will drive downloads, but you need to know how many did ad A result in, ad B, and ad C, so that you can cut the loser and figure out which one is the one to scale up and get more downloads. To do this, we need to enable a system called Attribution. Attribution just describes that exact process. Where are my downloads coming from? Attribution is very hard to do in mobile apps since the deprecation of what's called IDFA from Apple. Apple made changes to their privacy systems to make it harder for advertisers to figure out where exactly ads are coming from. This was part of Apple's initiative to make iPhone and iOS a lot more secure. However, it's made it harder for advertisers to figure out where their traffic is coming from. So that's why you need an MMP like AppsFlyer. AppsFlyer is a system that you install into your app, and it will connect to TikTok and tell you how many downloads each one of your TikTok ads are driving for your app. So I've already gone ahead and created an AppsFlyer account. Once you create an AppsFlyer account, it will prompt you to install an SDK. SDK is simply a plugin for your mobile app. If you're using Flutter, you can easily use the Flutter SDK and install it using Flutter Flow custom widgets, or you can do it using custom code, and they have SDKs available for all other platforms as well. So here I'm logged into my AppsFlyer account, and they have a really good onboarding where they'll walk you through how to sign up, how to add your app, and how to implement the SDK. Then you will connect your TikTok account to AppsFlyer so that AppsFlyer can figure out how much traffic is coming from your TikTok account. So that is the most important thing that you need to prepare your app for launch. You need AppsFlyer SDK installed so that you can see where your traffic is coming from. But it doesn't stop there. The way that ad networks work is that ad networks are very smart. They know exactly who to target your app for, and they even know who is more likely to purchase your app. Ad networks rely on something called an optimization event. An optimization event is an event that you tell the ad network, hey, my goal when you are giving me traffic or you are serving my ad in front of people is to get downloads or purchases. If you're building an e-commerce app, it might be add to carts. This is what's called an intent-based event that you can tell the ad network. You can say, hey, ad network, give me people more likely to install my app. The ad network might show your app to people who might be sitting at home, who are more likely to install, rather than people who are on the go. Maybe the platform detects that they're out and about in the line at Starbucks. Who knows where they could be? And I know it sounds creepy, but these ad networks know a lot about everyone at every point in time. So when you tell an ad network, give me more people who will purchase my app, they are going to find people who may have searched for different solutions and are in a buying mindset before they show your app to an audience. If you tell the ad network, hey, show my ad to people who are more likely to install, you're going to find people who are just trigger happy, who love installing apps to see if they're free or not. There are so many different types of people out there, you wouldn't even believe what I've seen. However, as you may imagine, the higher intent that you tell the ad network you want to optimize for, the more you will have to pay. So AppsFlyer will handle telling the ad network how many installs, purchases, add to carts you get. If you don't install AppsFlyer, the ad network will never know who's installing your app and who is purchasing, and it will never be able to optimize or find more people like the ones who are installing or purchasing on your product. So it's critical that we send back the data. Otherwise, what's happening is that the ad network is just going to keep finding different pockets of buyers or different pockets of audiences, and it's going to keep testing different people. And if we don't tell TikTok who is downloading the app, it's just going to keep scanning the whole world, and we're never going to find our target audience. Because once TikTok sees, oh, Aleem just told me that this audience that I served it to got a download, it's going to stay there and continue to find downloads for us. And if it doesn't, it will move on. So that is the importance of AppsFlyer. The second thing that you need is proper product analytics setup. If you do not have a Mixpanel funnel report that's telling you exactly how many users are creating an account on your app, how are they progressing through your onboarding flow, and how many of them are purchasing, then you don't know how users are interacting. If you can't measure it, you can't manage it. Nobody should be running ads without having proper tracking in place. Otherwise, you are flying blind, and you should not do that when you have money on the line. So the two things that you absolutely need is an MMP to tell the ad network who's downloading and who's purchasing, and two, a Mixpanel dashboard just like this where you can monitor how people are progressing through your app. So right here, I have a funnel report that tells me how many people signed up today and how many purchased. Today, I ran about $50 of TikTok ad spend, and you're going to see that later in this video. I had 14 signups come in. And I'm running my ads in Canada. I'm going to tell you why. So I filtered down my report to Canada. So I got 14 people from Canada to sign up for my app and give me their information. And I converted one of them into a purchase event. So I have a 7% sign up to purchase conversion rate. You need to be able to measure this so that you can achieve a benchmark or see if you can even convert anybody. Because if this number was 30 signups and 0 conversions, I know that there's a problem in my app funnel. I might need to change my onboarding flow. I might need to change who I'm targeting in my ad, and I might have to tweak a few things and then rerun the ads again. So you need an MMP and you need Mixpanel to track your app. Awesome. So if you have both of those things, you are ready for step 2. Let's create a high converting ad. Real quick, shameless plug here. If you are enjoying this video and you're learning a lot, I invite you to join the Dreams into Apps Accelerator, where I will personally mentor you and teach you one-on-one how to go from idea to revenue generating app in the App Store. Our accelerator is expensive, but we guarantee that you launch, and we will continue working with you until you make your first dollar. We've enrolled over 500 entrepreneurs into our program. All of them are crushing it. We like to pride ourselves and say we are the MBA for app builders. There are plenty of YouTubers out there who are giving up free content on building very complex Flutterflow apps, like James No Code and Steve. These YouTubers are great and we love them. However, building an app is just a very small piece of the larger game of launching a revenue generating business. So my program, Dreams into Apps, intersects lean startup methodologies and no-code full-stack app development into one super program where we will take you from dreamer to real startup founder. And if you're interested in applying for the program, click the link in the description. We have multiple pricing tiers to suit people from different countries and different walks of life. You'll get to work with me and my team of 8 full-time expert coaches, and we'll teach you everything from idea to generating revenue and scaling your app. So that's all I got to say. Let's get back to the video. Now let's discuss how to build a high converting ad that people will actually click on without having to get on camera. I know that some of us are camera shy. We like to build and we don't want to make content. Trust me, it's not that fun for me too. So in this particular project, I'm trying my best to not get on camera and use other people's spaces so that I don't get attached to the brand and I can test how different faces actually help convert. So I use an AI ad builder called ArcAds, where I can literally make ads that look like real people without having to get on camera. Check out this ad.
Ready to level up your photo game? Let this app work its magic and turn your pics into pure perfection. Try Starry AI app yourself.
So pretty much all this ad was like a video of somebody using the app like this, and then they put an avatar on top of the app screen recording and the person's just talking. This person looks super real, but it's really just an avatar. And that's exactly what I did for my ad for Closer Academy. So let's log into ArcAds. It's very affordable. I think it's about $10 per ad. And that's pretty cheap because if you were to hire a UGC creator, they could charge you upwards of $150, $200. Sometimes you can get some really cheap ones, but they don't do the job that well. So here's me logging into ArcAds. And now, as soon as it loads here, we will see our dashboard. Pretty much what I did is I scavenged around TikTok and I looked for ads. So here's my ad for Closer Academy. I wrote this script. If you work in sales, then this app will make you rich. It's called Closer Academy, an AI-powered sales coach that's proven to help you double your close rate. This app gives you daily sales challenges that actually make you better at handling objections, keep people on the phone, and get prospects to say yes to the sale. The best producers don't rely on luck, they train like killers. Here's the ad in action.
If you work in sales, then this app will make you rich. It's called Closer Academy, an AI-powered sales coach that is proven.
So what you see here on the right-hand side is actually just the generated avatar video. I then downloaded this video, sent it to my iPhone, and edited it in CapCut. I took a screen recording of my app, and then here's the final ad.
If you work in sales, then this app will make you rich. It's called Closer Academy, an AI-powered sales coach that is proven to help you double your close rate. The app gives you daily sales challenges that actually make you better at handling objections, keep people on the phone, and get prospects to say yes to the sale. The best sales producers don't rely on luck. They train like killers. Download Closer Academy and start dominating today.
Now I'm ready to set up my TikTok ads. Cool, so the first thing you're gonna need is a TikTok account. I spent about a week warming up my account, which means just creating an account, setting up the profile picture, setting up the bio, creating a few posts that kind of show TikTok that this isn't just like an account you spun up to run traffic. You wanna warm up the account so that TikTok knows you're like a real business, a real person. So we spent, a few days kind of posting some memes, getting some traction. And then you can see the ad right here. I actually posted the ad as a post and kind of let it ride for a couple days just to get some traction into the ad. Then as you can see here, we have 61,000 views, and that's because I'm paying TikTok to show it to more people, but I'm not using the boost feature. You do not want to use the boost feature on TikTok or Meta ads, to be honest. That's just them taking your money, targeting the retail customer who doesn't know how to run ads. You want to use the TikTok Ads Manager. So after you've made that post, we can then go to the TikTok Ads Manager and spin up our campaign. I'm gonna walk you through my campaign structure and why I set up my campaign the way I did. So there is something particular I want you to notice here. I'm running 2 campaigns in 2 different countries. I have one campaign for the United States and one campaign for Canada. I have a broad campaign here, and I'll show you what that means in a moment, meaning like TikTok is gonna serve this to as many different people as it can, and I'm gonna let TikTok's AI find my customer. Then what I did is I set up the same 2 campaigns, one for USA, one for Canada, and I'm only targeting the sales niche. So I've told TikTok only to target people who are interested in hashtag sales motivation, blah, blah, blah. And it will only serve ads for that niche. I ran this as an experiment on 2 levels. One, I knew that Canada would be cheaper to run ads in, and this is a hack. I don't really care right now so much about paying customers. I cared more if people were getting through my funnel and if I could even get somebody to download the app and go through that first few steps. Because if I could do that, then I knew that I had an app that worked. But if my traffic was coming in and they were not finishing the funnel, I knew that my app funnel needed to be tweaked. So I'm going to show you Tuesday's data because that was the day I was running both in the Canada and US markets. So notice something here. CPM stands for cost per thousand views, and that is telling me how much it costs me per thousand views to show my ad to that audience. Notice this, United States was costing me $3.59 per thousand views. Canada abroad was costing me 55 cents per thousand views. So it was like an eighth or more cheaper to show my ad in Canada. So I quickly shut off USA and I was like, yo, like I don't care about attracting US clients right now. I just want to see if people are getting into my app and getting through to it. A paying customer was a bonus to me. So I was like, I'm going to cut this ad and I'm only going to run it in Canada. So right now I'm taking advantage of 55 cent CPMs. And as you can see here, I got 128 clicks, meaning 128 people have tapped on my ad and potentially have gone to the App Store to download my app. Then I ran another experiment at the same time where I was targeting a specific niche. You'll notice here the USA sales niche CPM was coming in at $3.98, just shy of $4. So it makes sense that it was a little bit more expensive than broad. And typically the more you target, the more expensive your ads are going to be. And then if your ad is for a very like affluent demographic, like say you are targeting like high net worth investors or like private jet owners or something like that, if you're building the Uber for private jets, then like that could be a higher CPM. But I also noticed that the sales niche in Canada was coming in at 70 cents. So after seeing this, I was like, dang, it makes no sense to run in the US. I'm just gonna run it in Canada. So now that you understand my structure, you could do this for any country. You can do this for countries in South America or India, wherever you want to run your app. And if your focus is just traffic and you just want to get people in, you could always start in cheaper countries. And so I recommend starting in Canada because Canadians are very professional, they're smart, they have great jobs, and you can absolutely market to them, they'll purchase, and it's a lot cheaper. So now let me show you how I created my campaign structure. And I'll do that by kind of walking you through setting up a brand new campaign as if you are starting from scratch. So you want to tap on app promotion, and this will set you up a completely different type of campaign called an app install campaign, where you will click on an ad at TikTok and it will take you to the App Store to install your app. Okay. So if you set up an app install campaign, I would leave it on custom campaign. Then you want to activate iOS 14 dedicated campaign. iOS 14 was when that IDFA deprecation happened, so they have separate settings. Then you would click on your app here. And notice it's already looking for my MMP. If you did not have AppsFlyer connected, you would see an error right here and you'd have to connect AppsFlyer. Then I would have a campaign name saying test YouTube tutorial. And I would click continue. Gorgeous. Then you have an ad group. I'm going to call this test YouTube tutorial. And I'm going to call this Canada because let's say we're going to run an ad in Canada. I live in the US, by the way, but just want to show you that. We'll say automatic placement, and here's where I can set the demographics. So I'm going to update this to Canada, and I highly recommend setting up a different campaign for each country. That way you can track the cost. If I combined Canada and India and the United States, it would blend all the costs and I wouldn't know the difference. The name of the game is experimentation and to isolate variables. Okay. Then I could even scroll down here, set up some audiences. If I wanted to like target a specific hashtag, I could do interests and behaviors and say like hashtag sales and see I would get all these hashtags here that I could click. Then I will come down. I'll leave budget at $30 a day. I don't want to go lower than that. And my frank advice here is don't get scared. Tell yourself you're going to set aside $100 and just let it spend through $100. Do not pull out, because if you pull out too early, TikTok is going to realize that you are kind of a scared advertiser and they're not going to give you good reach. TikTok wants you to spend more money, obviously. So if you show TikTok behaviors like you are a professional advertiser, they're going to want to serve you more leads. Okay. Then you have this optimization goal that I was telling you about. So because we have AppsFlyer, we can do in-app custom events like purchase, start trial, login, search. But you don't want to do that until you have enough data in your app and you have users actually using your app. If you have never launched your app or you don't have users, TikTok's not going to know who's purchasing. So initially, everyone is going to start with install. So I wouldn't even use this in-app event. I would check install. I would leave target CPA alone, then hit continue. Now is where you'll actually set up your ad. So here's where I would say AI, 1, and then I would enable this Spark ads feature, which actually allows me to take a post from my TikTok and run it as an ad. So as you can see here, I can tap on add videos and I can click on any one of the videos that are on my channel. I can click on that one I created and boom, my ad is set up. I wouldn't touch anything else. I would leave everything the same and then I'd hit publish all and your ad is live. Like, it's that simple, and you would be spending money getting traffic into your app. It's that simple. So welcome to the final part. Now that your ad is live, how do you get your first paying customer? This is where the magic happens. Right here on my phone, I have pulled up Closer Academy app. This is the first screen that a user will see once they download the ad. The magic happens with your onboarding flow and how you create a cohesive funnel. From the second somebody taps on your ad to the second they see this screen, your funnel has to be tight. My ad says, if you work in sales, then this app will make you rich. It's called Closer Academy. It does XYZ. I'm telling the person what the app does on the ad. So when they tap the ad, they're gonna go to your app store listing, which will look something like this. And you're going to see screenshots of an app. The user is going to scan those screenshots to make sure that the screenshots match what was told in the ad creative. And this is the trick. Make sure your story matches up. Then if your story makes sense enough, they'll download your app and then they'll see the first screen. And now is where you need to capture their attention. I like to assume that everybody is a new user. So my first screen is always a sign up screen. I give them multiple options to sign up to make it very easy, like continue with Google, continue with Apple, continue with email. I'm going to use continue with email just to get started, and I'm going to type in one of my old emails here, set a password, boom. And now I have my onboarding flow. This is where the money is made. 65% of purchases are made during the onboarding flow. So I've designed this flow in a way where it will lead the user to a purchase. They say, what is my full name? I'll say Aleem Charania, hit continue. What best describes your role? I have a question here that asks who they are. I treat this as a lead qualification filter. So if you're not on this list, this app is probably not for you. And I've ensured to add as many categories here that make sense to me. I'll say automotive sales. What type of sales do you do every week? Pretty much, again, another step for funnel qualification. Here is a screen that shows some confidence in how Closer Academy can help you grow your sales. You hit proceed. Then it asks me, how do I want to grow my sales? So this is actually telling the user what my app does. My app will help you maintain a high close rate, build a referral network. So this is the user kind of selling to themselves why they should use your app. Then it says, what's stopping you from reaching your goals? I'll say poor sales training. Maybe my manager at work is not a good sales trainer. And what I need help with is just honestly handling objections better. So I'll tap on that. So now we have a social proof screen where it says, join 1,000 others who have already doubled their sales. The reason I can make this claim is because I've been working on growing an audience of over 1,000 people. I have partnered with an influencer who's helped me actually build this app and ensure that I have the right challenges in here. I'm not a professional salesperson. I've been seeking the help of my investors partners, and the information that they've been bringing to the table. So this social proof screen is really stretching the truth, but it's not far-fetched because I do have real people who are using the same strategies. So my point is that this screen is used for social proof to show the user that there are people just like them using the app. They see some 5-star reviews, they'll hit proceed, and now they have this personalization screen where it gives the illusion of the app actually setting up a personalized profile for them. People want personalization. So once they kind of go through that suspense, they're then hit with the paywall. And if I've done a good enough job asking the right questions, they will convert. Not everybody will convert, and this isn't the optimal way to do things. I'm still going to change my onboarding flow. As you can see here on Mixpanel, today I've only converted 7% of people, and I'm not going to kill this ad until I have a bit more data coming through. My goal is to get this up to 15 or 20%, and if I can't do it with, say, $50 more of ad spend and getting this number here to about 50, I'm probably going to kill the campaign, change my onboarding flow, and then retest with another $50 budget until I see some upticks. I might even test a hard paywall, a cheaper price. I'm going to attack things iteratively and apply small budgets till I figure out which is the one that I want to try scaling up on. So there you have it. That's an entire game plan for how you can get your first paying customers from TikTok ads for your mobile app. I hope that you learned a lot. If anything, please leave a comment, a like, subscribe for more premium content on no-code startup entrepreneurship. If you are interested in joining the accelerator, I would love to have you and mentor you one-on-one. But no worries, I'm here to serve all the builders out there. Take care, have a wonderful day.